Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Reason Gaming versus TheRED. This is the second game between these teams. First game went in fairly convincing fashion to Reason Gaming. Quite a snowbally game right there, with an explosive end, to say the least. I'm Nature, and I'm joined by Spuddington.
Yes, indeed. Never before, and probably never again, shall we see the Penta denial via the usage of Smite. If you were to ask people that didn't know about Zac Blobs, they would probably say that was actually impossible. But regardless, that is in the past, and I'm sure that won't affect Reason Gaming's teamwork in any way, shape or form, although it might become a running joke. Reason Gaming, though, looking very, very strong. As I mentioned before, two players that I haven't seen around very much in the past, but looking pretty good across the board. Sencooks did a very good job of roaming around the place, and also, with admittedly a favourable matchup, came out on definitely on top against Yasuo. So now it's up to TheRED to try and pick a little bit more safe lanes, maybe something typically that just farms fairly passively and doesn't have to risk too much in that lane, unlike Yasuo.
Alright, so Dimashko will be picking up the Annie for his team, which we didn't see last game around as the Annie was banned. As we do have Barney D and Trashy looking to pick up those very first champions for his teams, for their teams rather, and Barney D will once again be rolling the Thresh, and Trashy will be picking up the Renekton once again for Beansu. Now, I don't think we did see the Shyvana and the Riven last game around. The Riven makes sense, of course, but the Shyvana, I don't think we actually saw the ban last game.
Well, the Shyvana ban there is actually going to highlight another point here. At the moment, there's kind of like a holy quaternity, I want to say, of top laners. There is Mundo, there is Shyvana, there is Rengar, and there is Renekton. You might put Renekton on a slightly lower part of the pedestal, but certainly very, very much up there with the best. And these are just very, very strong bruisers that become incredibly tanky and also are just very, very disruptive in team fights, and also have very, very solid, very, very safe laning. Mundo is probably the most extremely strong at the late game point, but he's generally rated as the strongest top laner at the moment. It doesn't seem like either of these two teams play him, however, which is possibly a little bit of a foible in their champion pools, because he is certainly a very valuable choice, although as I say it, I'm a little bit behind, guys. I'm casting from the stream. As I say it, they lock it in.
Yeah, so the Mundo has been locked in there for its red team, and Darker will actually be picking up the Caitlyn for his team, so Nixar will be running that Caitlyn. As last game around, he ran the Lucian. This time, Chrisland, who was playing Caitlyn last game, will be running the Jinx, and Beansu is looking to actually pick up that Vi for Trashy on Reason Gaming's team. Vi, we do see quite a lot of Vi as well, and as I say that, he does switch it out at the last possible second to the Lee Sin.
Yeah, well, there are a couple of very strong junglers that have been around for a while now. Vi is definitely one of them, and I wouldn't actually be surprised to see TheRED pick that up themselves. But Lee Sin is also actually probably slightly less commonly picked than the most common junglers these days. But he is still extremely strong in the right hands, and obviously Reason Gaming feel very, very comfortable picking him. I know Reason Gaming back in the day actually had Ku on their team, and back then they were very comfortable picking Lee Sin, but he has obviously moved on to pastures new nowadays. I believe maybe was he in C9 EU? No, maybe that was... Oh, I cannot remember where Ku has gone. Regardless, though, does seem right now like we have some more picks coming in.
Yeah, we do have, in fact, they will pay picking up the Nidalee, so they might be looking for a little bit of a poke composition for their team. And as I say that, Nixar locks in the Jarvan the 4th alongside with the Annie. That is going to be a fairly all-in combination, of course, but Darker's Caitlyn and they will pay his Nidalee might not complement that one too well. However, we are just going to have and see how that works out, because these guys are, well, amateur pro players, if you will, and of course they are very, very good at what they do. And once again, Reason Gaming looking to pick up the Yasuo this time around, which the Red, of course, used last time. And they might actually be able to make it work this time, but as you said, we have yet to see someone who actually makes the Yasuo work.
Yeah, I've seen it twice now in competitive games. Once last game, and I think I've seen heavy bot lane run it once. It's just not a pick that seems to work out, even though, having played him myself, having seen other people playing him in solo queue and indeed in scrims and all that, I've seen it work there, but it's yet to work when people are really trying their absolute hardest. It's a bizarre thing, but Yasuo could potentially work very, very well on this team composition, though, because there is a lot of displacement, and if you are on point, when you're ready for the displacement from your allies, you can always jump to people. So Thresh hooks, Thresh flay, Lee Sin kicks, that kind of thing, that will allow you to jump straight to it with Last Breath, which gives you massive initiation range, even if it does seem a bit weird considering they're not actually graphically in the air as you would expect them to need to be, going by the tooltip alone.
However, ladies and gentlemen, before we head into the Rift, we are just going to have a quick commercial break. And before we head into this break, we should note that we actually have a completely new website, which is ChallengerSeries.eu, where you can find all information on the older Challenger Series, on this Challenger Series, and on the upcoming Challenger Series. And aside from that, you will also find our shoutcaster information, if you will. So you will find
terrible
that
pictures.
Yeah. So you will find that I am in fact not Donkey. I am Nature. And
you look
that
like
was
you're
all,
12 years old. I mean,
So we are heading to a quick commercial break. When we come back, Reason Gaming and the Red will be facing it off on the Rift.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is Reason Gaming versus TheRED in the EUS Challenger Series number 17. We are underway. I'm Spuddington, joined by Nature, and my screen is doing something strange. Take over for me.
Yeah, alright, so we do have, I might just want to start on with, welcome ladies and gentlemen, good to be back here. Alright, so we might have TheRED here, who might be looking for a later blue invade than usual, or are they? Because they are going just right about now. Chrisland and Barney D will spot them out, so no invade for them. And that is going to be the end of that, so nothing happening just yet, as it seems that both teams are just gradually backing away. Some of those warding totems are being used, and well, it seems like nothing too interesting is going to happen here just yet.
No, indeed, but there's you could kind of place a guess where both of the junglers are going to start, and hence where they're going to be ganking. And I have to say, actually, seeing the Lee Sin start at his own red buff, and most likely, therefore, not be looking to counter gank in that top lane when Jarvan gets up there, could potentially be pretty dangerous for Reason Gaming. What you really don't want against a Mundo is for him to start to get to the point where he can easily duel whoever he's up against. And Renekton, early on, will have the advantage, undoubtedly, but he needs to snowball that lane if he wants to actually stay ahead indefinitely. And Mundo, if he gets out of control, really gets out of control, because he can split push, teleport in, and then win your team fight almost single-handed as well.
Yeah, alright, so meanwhile, that bottom lane, Chrisland and Barney D putting a lot of pressure down on Nixar and Darker. Darker, well, of course, doesn't have too much to counter split pushing. Death Sentence, he will be dodging that Death Sentence out. Good reaction there out of him. And, well, that's going to be the end of that once again, as both junglers are actually looking to maybe head over towards that bottom area of the map, as Trashy might be looking for either an invade here or a gank on towards They Will Pay, as Trashy is getting very close right now. Dimashka might be finding himself in real danger. Dimashka gets a flag and drag in there, and that is going to be really dangerous, as we do have that Sonic Wave connecting, and that is going to be quite an easy first blood for Reason Gaming.
Yeah, and welcome to one of the reasons Jarvan isn't being played quite as much as he used to be. He's falling a little bit out of favor because he just isn't a very strong duelist. If you're up against someone like Lee Sin, and obviously it's easier if you're not on less than half health, as he was in that case, but if you're up against someone like Lee Sin, you just can't afford to be a weak sustained damage source. Nixar's been caught.
Yeah, he uses the barriers that being used as well. Great stun coming down of Darker, though, as Trashy uses the safeguard to reinforce his team, but he does decide to back away in the end. And Nixar was very low, so they might have been able to actually pick up the kill, but of course they didn't know where Dimashka was, who could have easily knocked up 3 people under that turn, which is very bad at this level in the game, at this stage of the game rather. So they decided against pursuing that kill in the end, and they are just continuing the sieging game just for now.
But they can guess that Jarvan most likely is trying to farm safely and knows where Lee Sin was, and he doesn't want to be anywhere near Lee Sin right now because he knows he's stronger. But they also therefore know they're more or less safe in this bottom lane, and that's why they're going for it.
Ooh, Nixar might be in real danger. Gets a good couple of damage hits down on towards Trashy. Great flay on towards Darker, will knock him back very far. And Darker gets a Sonic Wave on himself. Will not be dying just yet, as Trashy did go very low to Nixar's and Darker's combination of stuns and poking capabilities. Meanwhile, that middle lane, Sinkox might be very dead if he decides to stay for too long. Doesn't decide to do so in the end, and he just keeps a safe distance in the end and forces Dimashka back in towards his jungle. So, well, a little bit of pressure all around, but no kills just yet.
Yeah, one of the penalties with running your Nidalee mid lane is obviously a lack of ganking potential, and with Yasuo, that's a pretty nice thing to have, because he can make Nidalee's life very difficult. Even post 6, Yasuo is probably a stronger melee range duelist, which means he can keep shoving her in, then look to roam and be with his team as a result. So, Actually looks like Trashy is thinking about going for almost like a dive here, but I really wouldn't recommend him doing that. Maybe he'll wait for the wave to push out, but again, it's going to take a long time, and Nidalee has no reason to push out. So that's just going to stick there. But you've got to be careful in this situation, as Nidalee, she's not very strong against Yasuo.
Yeah, she is indeed. Thinkook's still pressuring, they will pay right there, as both junglers, or Dimashka rather, might be looking for Beansu here. Beansu is, well, fairly beefy at this point of the game, of course, as he is looking to be reinforced here by Dimashka. Dimashka might just be taking this lane over for Firez to back away, but in the end, Dimashka will just be showing himself and backing on off again. And, well, nothing happening just yet. If you were to take a look at minion differences or farm differences, we'd see that Chrisland is sitting on 45. Oh, heard that thought for a second. Darker getting caught by the death sentence, getting flayed back. Stun coming down onto his Barney D. A lot of damage. And meanwhile, in that middle lane, a lot of damage coming down in Thinkook. He will be forced to back away. And once again, no kills happening just yet. But as I was saying, 49 CS. Oh, I keep wanting to say stuff. And then Dimashka goes in once again with the flank drag. Here comes Trashy as well. But nothing happening either this time around. So, as I said, 41 CS on the Chrisland and 51 rather, and 42 on Caitlyn, which is starting to be a little bit of a lead for Chrisland, but nothing too, well, large just yet.
Trashy actually stealing away the red buff there from Dimashka, once again stamping his authority and just saying all of the jungle is mine. But I've got to say, Dimashka has done a decent job of keeping himself up on levels, but oh dear.
Oh, he gets killed mid flag and drag animation. Trashy, great use of the Dragon's Rage, was clearly predicting that one to happen. Meanwhile, that top lane teleport coming out to, well, gets a little bit more farm. And Trashy once again looking for that kill in the bottom lane. He doesn't have his Dragon's Rage available, of course, so he will not be able to knock either Nyx or Darker back. Darker hasn't got his stun up just yet, and Trashy will be backing on off once again. He'll probably just continue with farming his jungle.
And it's something that I'm noticing about all of the lanes that the Red are running is they are playing a very defensive team composition. Maybe caught out though.
Yeah, Nyxar gets knocked back, is being forced to take a detour because of those the Flame Chompers. One more rocket will do the job, and there you have it. Chrisland gets excited, gets out towards a safe distance, and to keep a safe distance, and that is the third kill being picked up for Reason Gaming.
Excellent death sentence, but the follow-up was very, very clever as well. They were aware that Annie did not have her stun charged at that point in time, and they were able to make that work for them, because obviously then they were able to make a much more aggressive dive. Even though it was a 2-on-2, they got that, and as a result, yeah, they're starting to get significantly ahead in that bottom lane. And passive laners, I did recommend last game, but thus far, although it's not snowballing maybe as hard as it was last game, we're still getting to that 2,000 point in terms of gold difference, which is very reminiscent.
Yeah, it certainly is. Reason Gaming looking to do a little bit of a rinse and repeating from last game around, and, well, the Red are surely not looking to actually cope with that, because, of course, the Red tend to be good at snowballing to start with, and at this point they're actually not being given the chance to do so, as they are looking for kills here and there, but they just can't get them.
Yeah, this game, however, I would say, assuming the Red can hold on for a decent length of time, they have a lot of potential in this game. They have a lot of pressure from split push from Fireys, who will outscale Renekton eventually, no matter what happens. It's just how long it takes. And they will have a great poke, siege, disengage composition for making use of that top lane pressure. But it's just a matter of how far Reason Gaming can get themselves ahead before they have to start contending with that. And once they do have to start contending with Mundo, if they are then able to fight that disengage and just go engage even harder and actually get what they want.
Fire actually being ignited in the top lane. In the meantime, Trashy picking up the dragon with the wrist, with the help of two members of his team rather. So that is going to be the very first dragon going over to Reason Gaming, just as last game. and they have extended their gold lead to 3,000, around 3,000 gold, a little bit more than that in fact. And they are looking very, very strong. Fares might actually be finding himself in trouble here. Binsu takes a couple of turret shots. Meanwhile, that bottom lane, we do have action going on. Super Mega Death Rocket won't quite connect, as we do have Darker going down first. Dimashki gets knocked back, and he will be going down second. Krislan picking up that kill right now, looking for the second kill on towards Nixar. Nixar will get to safety with that 90 caliber net, but it still is 2 kills for Reason Gaming.
Yeah, they're really building up an advantage. They're going to be able to take the tower as well. And at this stage of the game, that's a massive gold gap.
Yeah, Flash Death Sentence isn't going to allow Nixar to get out any way, shape, or form. And that is going to be 6th kill for Reason Gaming.
You've got to say, this new lineup for Reason Gaming is doing work right now. They are honestly rampaging around the map and just taking out whoever they please at this point. TheRED have been a decent team for a long time, and they're a very well-respected organization from Russia that's been around for a long, long time, but they just, at the moment, seem like they're being outclassed. They are not even able to stay in their straight-up lane matchups, with the exception of top lane and possibly mid. Yeah, but their jungle pressure, their bot lane, everything is just not going the way they want it to, and that's why they're now so far behind.
Yeah, no doubts about that. As Krislan might find himself in trouble. Oh, gets a good couple of flame chompers down, which will force Dark to back on off. And right now Nixar and Dark are putting a lot of pressure down on towards Krislan, because of course they want to negate as much farm on, for him as possible. But, well, he has a huge range with that zap, which he won't hesitate to use. And now that Barney D is back in that lane, they won't hesitate to pressure their opponents either. So, meanwhile, near that red buff, Trashy and Sinkox actually picking up that red buff of the Reds. And Trashy might be looking for a kill here in that bottom lane once again. But it seems like Sinkox will just be rotating over towards that middle lane. Does a whole lot of damage on Label Pay, and that is very painful for him.
Yeah, so again, this is a question basically of Reason Gaming just continuing to make plays right now. If they can keep doing it at this pace, they're going to win this game. There's no doubt about it. But if TheRED can just keep control of the game, keep the hemorrhaging away, then they can start to pull it back. But right now, it's just a question of how long they can stall it out. Fireys is in a bad situation, though. He is going to be collapsed on. Trashy and Yasuo coming up.
Yeah, the cripple didn't quite connect. Fireys being forced to flash. Gets to the safety of his turret. That was really close, though, as he almost bit the dust. But Trashy didn't quite manage to connect the Sonic Wave, and therefore, of course, the Resonating Strike. So Firez will be backing off to safety. But meanwhile, in that bottom lane, Reason Gaming will be picking up their very first turret of the game.
Yeah, indeed. That is, I kind of felt like they had already taken a tower, actually. I've got to be honest there. I assumed it, but they will paying badly.
Yeah, he certainly is, as we do have Trashy looking to chase him down. They will be taking a whole lot of damage. Resonating Strike does connect this time around. If it hadn't connected, the Super Mega Death Rocket would have sealed the deal nonetheless. But 7th kill being picked up here. They might look for 8. They might be looking for an 8th here, as Darka is desperately trying to run. Trashy uses a safeguard on towards the ward rather, and he will be picking up that kill. That is the 8th kill. Sinkox now looking for that 9th one. 9-0. But they won't quite be able to connect the death sentence on towards Nixar. Trashy isn't done chasing him just yet, but he will be giving up right now. And that is in fact going to be the 2nd turret for them.
Yeah, okay, so looking again like this might not be a game that goes on for that long. I'm going to be honest, right now Reason Gaming are even further ahead than they were in the counterpart game last time. And they have really quite solid tower sieging, and they're up against a team that doesn't really have great wave clear. Yeah, they've got Jarvan Flag and they've got the Piltover Peacemaker, but that's about it, and they could get dived if they fall behind this much. Krislan, though, could be getting caught here.
Yeah, he is not going to get out of that. A little bit of a unfortunate ward placement for him right there, as they did spot him out. Great javelin coming out of They Will Pay, and of course Nixar sealing the deal for them. So that is the very first kill being picked up for the red, but that is more of a consolidation prize than anything else, as of course Senkox and Barney D will be picking up that middle turret in the aftermath of that.
Yes, indeed. Now, Reason Gaming, Trashy actually knows where Dimashke is. Can he guess this one?
This is looking to be very, very dangerous for Dimashke. Dimashke gets a flag and drag, or he doesn't quite get the drag, however, and he will be finished off by Trashy in the end. So 9-1, really, really bad for the red is what this is. Firez right now looking to be the second victim of Trashy. Trashy isn't done here just yet. Beansu might be looking to pursue this kill under the turret, but Firez might be a little bit too beefy to actually do that.
As Trashy is now 6-0, I feel it would not be remiss to say that you need to run away from him, pretty much whoever you are. Even Firez probably can't actually one-on-one him very easily anymore. That is a really, really bad situation, and actually They Will Pay maybe about to 1v1 him, unfortunately.
Yeah, that is very, very bad for him. They Will Pay gets that red buff slow on towards him. Here's Beansu looking to stun him up, as he does get a good javelin down on the Baron, but that is not going to save him, as Trashy is godlike by picking up his 7th kill of the game.
So, for those of you who haven't actually played Nidalee, but have seen that little pounce maneuver go over walls, you can only do it over very, very narrow walls, and it's quite difficult to do. You have to make sure you're pointing inwards towards the wall before you jump. That's awkward when you fail it twice. And Senkox.
Yeah, Senkox looking for the skill on towards Darker, being stunned up by Tibbers, gets a good tornado down on Nixar. That is going to remove Nixar almost, as Senkox gets removed himself, as Trashy picks up his 8th kill actually on towards Firez. So that is once again a little bit of a consolidation prize right there for the red by stunning up Senkox. And Senkox didn't quite manage to pick up his very first kill of the game. Very, very unfortunate for him right there, but they are still 10 kills ahead, and, well, they don't seem to be giving up quite yet.
Alright, can They Will Pay pick off Trashy? He's certainly trying, but no, not going to happen there. And obviously, Nidalee not quite fed or farmed enough yet, I think, to be gibbing people with single spears from half health. Still looking okay at the moment, and actually Krisland could be found here. Whether he's taken the red buff or not is important.
Yeah, he has taken the red buff, so he might be slowing Dimashke enough to deter him from actually chasing him down. Here is Barney D looking to chase or to help him out. Ace and O comes out, gets blocked out by Barney D. Dimashke gets removed even after he used the Cataclysm. Right now Dimashke, or Nixar rather, being forced to find 1 versus 2. Can he pick up Krisland here? Gets flayed back, uses the barrier. Krisland gets a super mega death rocket, and that will be enough, but he pays with it by his own he pays by it with his own life.
I don't know whether that's actually worth it or not. 2 for 1, yes, but a pretty significant bounty, so probably in gold terms, not actually worth it, even though Jarvan is probably not worth that much gold at this point. Unfortunately, though, it does look like Darker may be the next one to go down. Not going to be caught out, though. Did manage to dodge the tornado, so lives to see another day. However, 20 minutes is rapidly approaching, and the 7k gold difference between the two teams is really, really big. They Will Pay now needs to watch himself.
Yeah, this could be very, very dangerous, but he does keep a safe distance in the end, as we do have Reason Gaming rotating over towards that middle area to maybe pick up a turret right there, as They Will Pay and Darker are rotating over as well to defend that one. Sweeping lenses come out to clear out those wards. Dimashke is there and well, to reinforce his team in the end. We do have Krisland scrambling over to get there as fast as he can, but they have found Firez here in that jungle. Firez taking a whole lot of damage. He is very, very tanky, being forced to pop that sadism, and he will probably not be able to pick up this kill on towards Beansu. But here's Dimashke and the crew. They might actually be looking to pursue Beansu here, but of course Beansu is way, way too tanky for them to deal with at this point as well.
Yeah, sadism is the unfortunate affliction where some people are feeling sad all the time. Dimashke is going to be... I'm sorry. Dimashke is going to be just trying to avoid dying in this mid lane, and they may look for an engage here, but I don't think they can actually do it here. They may not... This may not win.
Yeah, Barney D gets Cataclysmed upon, uses the bog, he gets removed by They Will Pay, so that is quite a nice kill being picked up for them. Meanwhile, that bottom lane, Chrisland looking to pressure that turret. Teleport comes down. Can he finish that one off? No, he cannot, as Fires teleports in there in time. Meanwhile, that middle lane, Nixar might be in trouble. Dimashka is in a whole lot of trouble himself. Resonating Strike connects on towards him, as does the Cripple. He is being chased down by Trash. I don't see him living through this, to be honest. He uses the Flag and Drag. He waited for the Resonating Strike to be used before using that Flag and Drag. Meanwhile, Beansu being chased down by They Will Pay. Chrisland picks up Darker. Great juke out of Beansu. Will juke the spear as well. And here is Chrisland looking to pick up They Will Pay. That might just be his third or second kill in a row here. And They Will Pay is very, very slippery, but he gets caught by the death sentence. And he goes down to Chrisland.
Now, that was another fight there, which was actually quite smart by TheRED. They chose to go for the engagement, knowing that Jinx was committed in the bot lane, and knowing that, as a result, Reason Gaming would try and bait them in and waste as much time as possible, because they knew Jinx would then take the inhibitor. But they had the Mundo teleport up their sleeve, and they were able to use that to stop Jinx from getting the tower down. But because they're so far behind, and because it took them so long to kill anyone on the Reason Gaming's team, Jinx had time to leave bot lane and walk all the way up to the mid lane, all the way into that upper jungle kind of area, and join up with the rest of the team. And at that point, it was actually a numbers advantage against TheRED when they thought they had set it up. So really, really unfortunate, I feel, again there by TheRED. But it seems at the moment like just their laning was not on the same tier, honestly.
Yeah, but Reason Gaming are having a little bit of trouble puncturing the Red's defenses at this point. They might just need a good kill here, which might come in the form of Dimashka, who finds out Trashy here. Trashy is having a little bit of trouble this time around killing Dimashka, who is juggling his spear. Great use of the dance right there. As Senkux and Barney D will just be pressuring that middle lane a little bit more. And it seems like they're actually looking to pressure all three lanes at the same time here.
Yeah, they can certainly afford to do that. Renekton versus Mundo is basically forcing TheRED to commit their one character who's doing well. Chrisland, though, getting caught out.
Yeah, using the barrier tables comes down on. Here's the safeguard. Super Mega Death Rocket doesn't quite connect on towards Nixar. He's being forced away by using that 90 caliber net. He gets excited. Double kill coming in for Chrisland. He might be looking for this triple kill on towards Dimashka. Dimashka getting not quite low just yet, but Chrisland is doing work on him. And no, he will not be dying quite yet. Great turnaround out of Chrisland and Trashy.
Again, very, very nice awareness shown there by Chrisland, knowing he could actually get the kill, chain that into the Get Excited to get out of the way of the Jarvan gank, rather than doing what Jarvan was expecting and just running away. So, very, very smart once again, but Reason Gaming taking their first inhib, continuing to pressure. Mundo forced to commit to this is going to mean the top tower will go down, the mid tower goes down. Huge, 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 huge gold deficit between the two teams that was already there is now amplified even further, and they just don't seem to be able to catch anyone out at the moment. It's really, really starting to look very, very, very ugly for TheRED.
Yeah, it certainly is. Beansu being forced away, he keeps a safe distance. He's actually, I haven't paid a whole lot of attention to Beansu, but that is probably because that is one of those standard top laners who just butts head all day and in the end becomes very, very tanky. Dragon goes down to Trashy in the end, but right now Senkux might be in trouble. Fires and Dark are looking to chase him down. Beansu deters them from chasing for too long, but right now he's in trouble himself. Talisman of Ascension comes down. Senkux being forced to flash. Beansu is now the new target. Great Dark Passage will make sure he gets in towards a safe distance. Senkux, I don't see him getting out of here, actually, as he doesn't have his flash anymore, of course. Dodges a good Piltover Peacemaker, dives on towards Nixar. Will not be able to pick up any kills out of that, and he will be going down as the 5th kill to that red team. Dimashka right now being forced to back on off because Chrisland actually dodges the Flag and Drag, and he will be picking up Dimashka here. He is unstoppable. He gets excited, looking to pick up another kill here, but it is him versus 4 members as he is forming the Vanguard here. Nixar being forced away. Trashy picks him up. And right now, oh, great death sentence on towards Fire as he will be going down as well. Chrisland gets excited once again, and he might be looking to pick up yet another inhibitor here.
At this point, this is just a safari. Reason Gaming are going around catching like whoever they feel like and just taking them down. Indeed, that is going to be the surrender vote there. So very, very convincing performance out of Reason Gaming. I would say, though, at least they managed to get Senkooks trapped in the Baron pit for that brief cage fight there. But at this point in time, you got to say Reason Gaming, their new lineup looks incredibly strong. Senkooks